right now that this was a terrible, terrible run for a few reasons. We didn't get any gathering tomes, and we got 0 baby drops. So let's see how much we made. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and journey back, and then we will tally up and see how much we earned and how much we made. So, and again, I left the damn text on the screen. Let me go ahead and take that off. But pretty terrible map. Not a lot of spawns. Not a lot of dense spawns. I don't think I even saw a .2 spawn. So 30k in repairs about. Not too bad. But we did fill a lot of tomes. And let's go ahead and get to the island here and put our stuff away. And alright, so we're going to put the knife away. And then I'm going to put the books away. And these right here are they're just little hidden treasures. I'm not going to count these, so this would be 900 silver. And this is 4,300 silver. Whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw those away. This was the daily for the challenge. And then this is an unfilled tome. So we didn't quite fill this one up all the way, so I'm going to stash that. And then this is what we ended up with. So in 30 minutes time so far, and let me show you, I'm going to get some text back on the screen here just a sec. Right now, in 30 minutes, if sell journal, we made 480k. So not quite 1 million per hour, not yet, right? So 480k if we multiply this by 2. So per hour if selling journals. Alright, that's 960k, so not quite an hour. But lucky for us, we do have laborers, and so let's take a look. We have 55 of these novice gamekeeper journals filled. 55 of them. Now, if I go to a laborer here, we talk to him, and let me get the timer off the screen because we don't need that anymore. Alright, so if we put a journal in, you'll see here that I get 57 rugged hide. Alright, so 57 times 55 journals that we filled is 3,135 rugged hide. And this takes, again, 22 hours to process. But let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I did a little bit more math for you guys. I did the in 30 minutes amount with no journals at all, which I don't know why you would be doing this without using journals. You're going to be losing out, as you can see. And then in 1 hour without journals, that's only 774k, so not quite 1 million per hour. Whereas, you know, I also did a little bit more math with the journals. So if you sell the journals, because you have to buy the journals, fill them, and then when you sell them, you don't obviously get them back. Why would you get them back, right? So, you know, that's only 905k per hour, which is pretty good. Still not 1 million an hour, though. But if you turn in the journals to a laborer, then you make 572,000 in 30 minutes. As you can see here, I have turned those journals in and gotten the tier 2 rugged hide. Let me hide the text here real quick. You can see I got the 3,135 rugged hide from turning in those 55 journals. It does take 22 hours, and that turns us into 1.144 million silver per hour. And again, this was with only these 0.1 medium hides is only worth 33k. So this is just medium hide, thin hide, and not bandit event, and rugged hide. So no babies, no tome drops, no lucky drops at all, nothing. This is like the worst run ever, and we're still over 1 million per hour. So I'm going to explain now how you can also do this. And the whole reason I'm making this video is because of this Reddit post right here by AHMAD whatever, you can just read the name on the screen, I'm not going to try to say it. He says he found a guide on YouTube, it's obviously my guide because no one else makes guides for this, that you can earn 700 a million per hour via gathering. He spends a lot of time into hide gathering, which it does take a long time to build up to tier 8. And he bought the tier 8 hide gathering set with an Avalonian knife tier 8, which is about 2 million, which is a big... Is it only 2 million? I thought it'd be more than that. So yeah, it's a pretty big investment, but, you know, he's fairly new, and he says he can barely reach 500k per hour skinning in those zones. He doesn't know what he's doing wrong, and he can't afford to go to black zone, because he's only got, like, the 2 million set in the knife, I guess. He's bankrupt. He spent all of his... He put all of it into the skinning set, which is a good investment, because you never lose this. Do not ever take this, ever, 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 to a red or black zone, ever. So the very first step, which this player did do, this Redditor, he bought the Gathering set. So he bought the Skinner Cap, the Garb, and you want to buy an 8.4 if you can afford it. And the reason why is so your hide animal poison does more damage. And this lets you just kill enemies faster. And the faster you kill enemies, the more money you make, but it can get expensive. Anyway, Skinner's Work Boots and Avalonian Skinning Knife. That's the skinning set. These are the 4 items that will give you Gathering Yield. In total, wearing this set gives you a 90% bonus to your yield. So this means that for every 1 enemy you skin, you're almost getting 1 for free. You're getting 90% of another one free. So if an enemy, for instance, had 10 hides, and you skin it with this set, you would technically average 19 hides. You don't always, but that's kind of how the math works. It's a little weird and wonky, but that's kind of how you should think about it. So if you skinned 100 animals with this set on, it's as if you skinned 190 without the set on. The next step is the pork pie. You want to always have one of these eaten and running on your buff bar. This gives you 15% yield, and it increases your carry weight by a bunch. So definitely something you should always have active when you're gathering. Next up, you want things that let you carry more stuff and move fast. So you want the best bag that you got. Now I have this 8.3 Masterpiece Elders bag. I also have an 8.4 Excellent satchel, but the satchel doesn't have as much carry weight as the bag. So I'm using the bag. I don't have an 8.4 Masterpiece bag. I could buy one, but I don't need it. Then at least a Tier 5 Skinner backpack. I'm wearing Tier 8. The only difference is, like, okay, so when you wear a Tier 5 Skinner backpack, it basically reduces the weight of all hide Tier 5 and lower by 30%. So because this is your safe zone set, Tier 6, 7, and 8, you know, backpacks don't do anything. I just have this because I'm rich, and why not? Just so my set matches. I don't know. It just increases my repair bill. Honestly, I don't even need this. So don't do what I'm doing here. But and then a boar mount. Now, the best boar mount is the Elite Wild Boar because it gives you the most carry weight. And the cool thing about boar carry weight is that it works when the mount is not summoned. So if you've ever rode an ox before and you walk out of the circle, you'll suddenly become overweight. But with the boars, you don't. You retain the buff to your maximum carry weight load. Also, the wild boars, they're pretty fast. This one's 120% gallop speed, and it can just carry a lot of stuff. It's armored, it's got a lot of health, so it's just an all-around awesome mount to have. So again, you can really use any mount. Just something with carry weight that moves fast. That's all you need. Step 4 is journals. You need journals when you're doing this. For instance, we have the Novice Gamekeeper's Journal. So the way journals work, I've made videos on this topic. Whenever you have them in your inventory, the fame you get when you're skinning goes into the journal. It also goes to you, but the journal just also learns along with you. And once you fill up the requirements of the book is considered full. And then when you have a full book, you give it to the laborer, and then, 22 hours later, they come back with free resources and an empty journal back to you. So, real quick, these are the prices of journals. If you don't have an island and you don't have laborers, you should really work on getting those ASAP. You should have had that up and running before you got to Tier 8 Gathering, honestly. But if you don't, you can still go to the market and buy these, but you should never buy these above laborer price. So, for instance, a Tier 2 Novice Gamekeeper's Journal is 500 silver, and the estimated market value says 507, so people are, raising the price. So don't pay more than 500, okay? And Tier 3 is 1,000, and Tier 4 is 2,000. So, if you're in a Tier 4 zone, for me, on the Western server, the best money for your value is the Tier 2 Journal. If you're in a Tier 5 zone, which you shouldn't be doing anyway because you're going to make less silver per hour, but, some people do it anyway because they want, like, the tiger or the swift claw cubs, they just like to have that little dopamine hit. then you would use the tier 3 Gamekeeper journals. So the process of skinning in particular is a little different than other gathering because you want to be killing enemies as quick as possible. And to do that, you're going to use your armor ability, Hide Animal Poison. And you're going to have this up all of the time. So when you're on the ground, boots on the ground, you're not on your mount, make sure you cast this buff. And you'll see this red circle here in the top left under my health bar. And as long as that red circle is there, that means I have Hide Animal Poison active. So if I want to kill a creature, I dismount and I auto-attack it, and it will die from the poison. Assuming that you have a Crypt Candle equipped, because this thing raises the damage of your Hide Animal Poison. Alright, so the best Crypt Candle you can get, the better. You don't need an 8.4, and you don't need Masterpiece, okay? I'm just balling out here, okay? And the higher tier your Skinner's Garb is, the better. You can see mine is an 8.4, but if it wasn't 8.4... okay, let's look. 1742 magic damage, okay? But if I just used flat 8, how much would I get? Let's find out together. So with just flat 8, it would be 1,163 damage. So I'm getting 600 additional damage for wearing this 8.4. And if I took the Crypt Candle off, that reduces it down to, well, I don't think that tooltip is correct. Let's see. 1742... Okay, it's not updating the tooltip, obviously. That's not how that works. But yeah, the Crypt Candle does add a ton of damage. So that means you want to wield a one-handed weapon. And there's many different choices. For today's video, I used a Fire Staff, but I could use any version of Curse Staff. Anything with an area of effect spell is really good. I don't recommend two-handed weapons because they take both slots, meaning you can't use the Crypt Candle, and you'll be dealing less damage overall. Alright, so a lot of people are like, should I have combat gear if in case I want to do faction PvP? So here's what happens when you do that. So let's just take a helmet out. So you see how I have this buff that says 10 at the top under my health bar? When I equip something that isn't a gathering item like this helmet, I just lost 10 stacks. So I just lost 17.5% gathering yield. But when I put the helmet back on, it's got to build those stacks back up. So now I have 1.75% gathering yield from the helmet, and after a little while, it'll stack up to 2, and it'll stop once it's stacked to 10. So if you're getting downed by mobs, if you're getting beat up by players, or if you're swapping your gear for some reason, you lose these stacks, and you don't want to do that. Also, people are like, well, should I faction flag up? I can't defend myself. I'm not confident. I'll get beat up. I'll have a repair bill. And the answer is you should always faction flag up. When you are faction flagged, you are earning faction points, and quite a lot from gathering, mind you. But also, you are getting a 15% bonus yield. So remember earlier when I said we had like a 90% yield, and that was before the pork pie? Let's look at our actual real yield. So here is all the yield bonuses. We did the helm, armor, boots, and the knife, this time with pork pie and faction flagging. So that means 120% is how much I had in the video. I did not have premium active when I filmed this, and I do not have premium active now. As you can see, there's nothing here. I'll hide the text. You can see it is not active. You have no premium. I know, it feels bad, right? But if I did have premium, that's another 50%. And then if it's a bonus day, that's a 25%. And then with, I have level 83 in tier 4 adept, which is 41.5%. If I was level 100, that would be 50%. But this only applies when you're skinning tier 4 hide animals. It does not apply to tier 2 or tier 3 animals. But the maximum potential bonus shown on the screen is 236.5 or 195 for tier 2 and tier 3, which is almost double. So, again, if you're killing one animal and skinning it, like a tier 2 mob, you're basically getting 2 for free. And that's pretty damn huge. You are gathering 3 times faster than other players. And if you're one-shotting them with hide animal poison and zooming around the map, that with journals, with laborers, that's how you get 1,000,000 per hour. And it's totally doable. And again, if you have premium, you're going to push way more than 1,000,000 per hour, and with premium, that 50% is a bonus to baby drops and tome drops as well. And if you do get baby drops, tome drops, 0.2 or 0.3 enchanted mobs, that's another 400 to 500k per 30 minutes, meaning you can push over 2,000,000 per hour. And then if you hold on to your hide, hold on to your hides, buckos, and you wait and you refine on bonus days. Then you have leather instead of hide, and then when you wait for the bonus day to go away after a while for the market to normalize, you then sell the leather, when it's at its peak price. You could be pushing like maybe 3 million, 4 million per hour if you factor all this stuff in really easily. Like, it's insane how much money you can really ramp this up to. But a lot of that stuff's members only stuff, so I don't want to talk about it too much. But yeah, 1 million per hour while skinning, even with the worst of luck, no babies, no tomes, no enchanted mobs above 0.1, and barely any 0.1 enchanted mobs anyway. Like, it is possible to do. And I'm sorry that this Redditor here didn't quite figure that out. But hey, hopefully this video helps him. And somebody DM him on Reddit and let him know that I made a video just for him. I know, right? But yeah, that Reddit thread is a joke. There's people like, oh, Swole Benji got another one, guys. He's such a jerk. He kills people in the noob zones. Excuse me, I don't kill. The last time Fat McCock. The last time I killed someone was apparently in May. I'm filming this in September. That's 4 months ago. I haven't murdered in 4 months, allegedly. But yeah, that's the video. I hope this helps you. If you need further assistance with, laborers and journals, you just go to my channel and search it up. It's really easy to do. It's super quick. Again, you just click my channel name right below this video. There's a little search bar at the top. You just type laborer or journal, and there'll be plenty of videos there to help you out. And with that said, leave a like, let me know what you thought, and man, just I've made this video like 10 times now. I have literally made this same video. Hey, here's how to make 1 million silver with blue zone skinning. Completely safe, even with the worst of luck. You can still make 1 million per hour. I don't know how many more times I have to do this until people just realize, this is a way to make silver. And you can be like, oh, it's so boring. Bro, I was listening to a new music album, and it went by in a flash. It went by in like, it felt like seconds, alright? I was listening to this orchestral album called Yesterwind, and yeah, it just blew by. And man, I need to go gather some more and listen to more music, because I could spend all day doing this. Anyway, that's what I got. Click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, here's what's gonna happen if you don't click the video, okay? You're gonna go through the drive-thru at like McDonald's or something, and there's gonna be like maybe 1 or 2 cars in front of you, and you're gonna be like, yes, this will be so fast. And then, you're gonna get to the drive-thru window, and they're gonna be like, hey, can you pull forward and wait? We're making your food fresh. And you're like, yes, that is excellent. And then 20 minutes are gonna go by, and then they'll get you your food. Yeah, because they're shorthanded, or their fryer messed up, or somebody rage quit or something. But you're gonna end up 20 minutes in the sitting near the drive-thru waiting for your damn food if you don't click the video, so you better click it. And yes, I'm aware I didn't calculate the profits from faction points. I'm not gonna do it. It's already over 1 million per hour anyway, even after repairs. Thank you, goodbye.
What's going on, guys? Kids here, and welcome back to a brand new video. For today I will show you the top 6 best and fastest ways to make a lot of money in Albion Online. So a few years ago when I started playing this game, it was very confusing, and I never knew what activity should I be doing for more money. I knew that I wanted to do PvP and be one of the richest players in the game, but to do so I had to experiment and try out different silver making methods. So in this video I will show you my personal 6 favorite money making strategies, and for each strategy I will give you a real life example with some tips and tricks that will help you to save more money in the long run and much more. So if this sounds interesting to you, then let's get right into it. So then moving over to the first one, which is crafting. And crafting in Albion is one of the most fun parts of the game, because you get to equip what you make. The most important thing to understand from the very start is that crafting is very time and resource intensive process, but the long-term rewards are very much worth it, from both a self-sufficiency and making money in the game. So then in a quick summary, like in any game, you can craft items by collecting materials, and then you start crafting from tier 1, and each level will require for you to craft multiple duplicates to then earn fame and unlock the next tier/level gear. So with that said, let's see what the process of making money with crafting actually looks like, and I have split this category in 4 different parts. So the first part is completing the tutorial. Once you complete the first part of the tutorial, you will unlock the Novice Adventure Mastery in the Destiny board, which will in return unlock the Trainee Craftsman Mastery group. This node will allow you to craft novice items at 4 different types of crafting stations, which are Mage Tower, Warrior's Forge, Hunter's Lodge, and Toolmaker. So then moving over to the second part, which is where we choose the items that we want to craft. For beginners, I would recommend to start crafting items that you use yourself. So for example, if you play Fire Staff as a mage class, then start crafting cloud gear with Fire Staff and then go from there. Crafting in early stages will be a big investment, but when you get the ball rolling, you will make huge amount of money. So in the second part, we want to choose the items that we want to craft to level up our crafting level. So if we take again the full cloth armor approach, then we level up our cloth armor to at least tier 6 by just crafting the Scholar robe, and then all of our crafts we study to get even more experience. Then as for the third step, this is the time where we decide on how we will get the materials, which we will then use to craft these items. My suggestion is if you don't have millions of silver to start investing in your crafting adventure, then start gathering materials yourself, and then later we'll be able to craft with 0 time spent outside of the city. And then lastly, the last and final part is experimenting. Our main goal with crafting is to find the items that are lacking in supply and which are overpriced, so then we come in by starting to make lower tier gear and selling it. And if this works, then we invest more money and make more of this specific item. And then on top of all this, when we have found our niche in which we want to provide our crafting services, then we can start using focus points, which with premium we get 10,000, and by clicking on the small button we can spend the points to get some of these materials back, which will be useful when crafting higher tier gear. And then lastly, to improve your speed and quality of the items, you want to use the salad consumable as well. Okay, so now let's summarize all of these 4 points in one final example. So I personally right now play my permafrost build, so for my example we will look into this weapon. So then going to the marketplace, and after some time I noticed a big price difference between 5.1 and 6.1 permafrost. So now my decision is to get tier 6 permafrost crafting, which I can do by just crafting cheap and easy one-hand frost staffs. Then when we get to tier 6, I decide how I will be getting the materials for crafting. I personally don't need to gather anything, as I have already bunch of silver. So I buy the materials needed in the marketplace, then I use them to craft items, then we list them for sale, and then we sell it for profit. By me right now making this video, I stumbled upon one of my next tips, which will be about item flipping and selling cheap items for more expensive price. So for example, when we take a look at the 6.1 permafrost, I found the staff for 400k, and the rest players sell it for 500 or 600, so we can easily buy it and then resell it for 100k profit. So in a quick summary, crafting is a great way to make money, but it will take time to get it up and running. But as well, if you're a crafter, that does not mean that you can only make money by crafting, because when you participate in the marketplace, you can stumble upon good opportunities when items sell for cheap, and you can resell them for a lot more money. So stay tuned, because later in the video, I will explain on how to get this and use it to your advantage. So then moving over to the second way on how I like to make money, and it is by investing. So let me explain myself. In real life, if your parents still own a currency from the 1950s or any other valuable but old item, then that item is now worth 3 or 4 times more. And what we want to do is apply the same principle but in Albion. So I personally took a break from Albion for about 4 to 5 months, but still in this time I made over 10 million silver by just investing my money in items that over time get more expensive. So for me, what I did, I bought few rare skins that were listed in the marketplace for 1 million a piece, and then later I resold them for 2 to 3 million. The biggest downside for gamers is that when we see something on sale, we think that item is now cheap and not worth your time. But in reality, that over time rare items become more rare and harder to get. So then that item now is worth 2 or 3 times more. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to give you a real example, so here it is. About a few months ago, I was collecting every monthly premium chester board, which usually are these different mounts, and then I sold them about a week or 2 ago, and from about 4 mounts, which are 4 months of opening chests, I made around 1 to 2 million silver. Of course, if you take a look at how much money you can make by farming corrupted dungeons or crafting, it is a lot more. But what I like about this method is that you can easily make money by doing absolutely nothing, then just buying or collecting these mounts or skins, and then waiting few months and then selling them for easy profit, which will cost you 0 work whatsoever. So if you want to make money for basically no work, then just buy premium and save these special mounts, and then the longer you wait, the more money you will make in the long run. And on top of all all this, you can do the same thing by just looking through the marketplace and buying all the cool skins, and then reselling them few months later. Usually players ask me on the best way to make money, and I usually tell them two things. The first thing is that there's no one best way to make money, so you want to try out everything and see what works for you. And in the best case scenario, try to make money from 2-3 different methods. So then if one gets nerfed or is not that profitable, then you can still have few other ways to make money. And then lastly, the last suggestion that I want to give you is to never have more than few million silver in your bank account. Right now I have about 12 million silver, and for beginner players that want to make money, you should never have this much, because all of the silver is just standing still and not making you more money. So you want to have 1 or 2 million silver to have some lunch money, and then put the rest of your silver in items. So for example, you want to buy the dire wolf for 300,000, and now instead of the 300k in the bank, now you have 300k in an item. And if you ever need that 300k back to buy something, then you just simply sell the item. But then if you keep it for longer, then when you sell it, you can make more money, and the more items you buy like this, which are long-term investments, the more money you can make in the long run. So then moving over to the next best way to make money, and it is by playing corrupted dungeons or 2v2 hellgates. So for most PvP players, it's not that easy to make money, unless if you already have millions of silver to invest in good gear, and if you have bunch of friends to play with. But for most players that usually only have 2-3 friends, or if you play by yourself and if you only want to do PvP, then this is the best way to make money. So first of all, we pick corrupted dungeons and 2v2 hellgates, because corrupted dungeons you can do solo, and 2v2 hellgates you just need one more friend. Or you can join discords and look for a single player in the global chat. So then when you decide to go to corrupted dungeons or hellgates, then here are two ways that you can make money. Either way you can rat or do PvP. So let me explain. Ratting means that you can go into a PvP dungeon, but instead of actually participating in the PvP, you only farm monsters and open chests. And as soon as you find an enemy, you just run away from him, then leave the dungeon or wait for the enemy to leave and then go to the next one. And it is pretty hard to catch a player that just wants to run. So this method is very easy but not that fun. And ratting requires a lot less silver investment at the start. So if this is how you want to make money, then check my video on the top 5 best rat builds. But then on the other hand, for players that want to make money by PvP, aka by fighting other players, then you again want to decide to go into a 2v2 hellgate or a corrupted dungeon. And the same principle applied that you farm mobs and open chests. But then when you find an enemy, instead of running away, you want to fight him and take his loot or lose your own. Like I said, this second method is a lot more fun, but as well a lot more challenging, and requires a lot more silver. For a beginner player, I recommend to first of all rat few dungeons till you get few million silver, then decide which build you want to use and then do PvP. And lucky for you, I have another video for the top 5 best corrupted dungeons / hellgate builds, so check the video out. But then besides that, your main objective when doing PvP is to find the easiest targets that you want to kill, so then you can loot them and get better gear. In Albion, you could be running the best gear and be the highest skilled player, but still some builds are just better than other builds, and against one build you can be stronger, and then against another one you can be weaker. So the most optimal way of making money when doing PvP is deciding which builds we want to fight and which not. So for example, here are 2 different videos for 2 different builds, and in the video you can see which builds are easier to fight against and which not. Similarly, like other money making methods, you want to make money by experimenting and trial and error. What you want to do is find a build that you like and is strong, which I recommend of course to watch my video. But besides that, you want to start using the build, and over time you will learn which enemy builds you are stronger against or which not. And then you just fight enemies that are easy money targets, and then for the rest you just leave the dungeon and move over to the next one. So for me, playing different MMORPGs, I took the principle that, for example, the mage class doesn't have a lot of defensives, but it can do the highest damage numbers. So then you want to fight other classes that are slow and you can run around them while doing damage from range. Or you can fight other range classes, but then on the other hand, you don't want to fight tanks or classes that are fast and can catch you easily, because then they will get close to you, and as you don't have that many defenses, you will be very easy target for them. So in my summary, one of the most fun and easiest ways to make money is by picking the targets that you want to fight, and this will give you easy silver, and that's about it. So then moving over to the 4th money making method, which is the black market / flipping items for easy and fast money. So marketplace, aka the auction house, is the place where you can buy and sell items, which is the main part of the Albion online economy. While players can trade anywhere in the world, the majority of trading in Albion happens through the marketplace. Buying and selling on the marketplace is easy. To buy or sell, you have two options. You can either way fulfill a purchasing an existing order, or you can create your own order. Even if an item has active buy or sell order, you may want to create your own in order to make or save more money. So then let me give you a quick and easy tutorial on how you can make money by item flipping. So it took me about 2 minutes to find this, and any player can do the same thing in his free time. So first of all, you want to open your marketplace and look through items. What I found is that there is a big price difference between tier 6 and tier 6.1 permafrost. So then I bought this permafrost for 294k silver, but I could have saved even few thousand silver more if I bought the cheapest option. But besides that, we want to buy the flat 6 permafrost. Then we go to tier 6 runes and buy 200 of them. Then we go to the artifact foundry, which every single city has, and then we open the third enchant equipment tab, and then we make our flat weapon into 6.1. So from us spending about 295,000 for weapon and 55k for runes, we come up at the cost of 350k. And now we can sell it for 400k or even more, if we buy this one cheap one and sell it for 500 or 550k. And this is how we easily made bunch of money by basically doing nothing besides just looking at the market prices and flipping cheaper items for more silver. To make this video, I really did not spend a lot of time buying the best stuff and runes, but you could even take another step by buying the cheapest runes, cheapest weapons, and then sell it for even more profit. So overall, my main objective with this video is to show you multiple ways that you can make money, and it's up to you in which one you want to use. For further information and more in-depth analysis, I recommend to watch my video where I go further in this item flipping method. But then, as I mentioned, the black market, you can basically do the same thing by looking how much items sell in the black market, so then you buy from the normal marketplace and sell it in here. And then lastly, as I predict that bunch of players will be now using this method from watching this video, so for players that are maybe watching a bit later from the release date, remember that each city has its own marketplace, aka the auction house, so you can do it multiple times and in multiple cities. And then when you really can't find any items to flip, then for example teleport to the Caerleon, look at prices, then go to the Thetford and look at prices again. And if you see a big price difference, then just buy in Caerleon, then transport it to Thetford and resell it for profit, and it's that simple. So then moving over to one of the last ways to make money, which are the hardcore expeditions. So these expeditions are like any other open world dungeon, but only you can enter them with 5-man groups, and there is no PvP enabled. So first of all, you can find the 5-man group, which you can do by joining Albion online Discord servers, or more commonly by just opening the Albion looking for group text channel and joining groups that are looking for players. As these dungeons don't have PvP, they won't give you the best money and fame. So the way you overcome this is by using the highest item score gear and finishing these dungeons in the shortest amount of time. So now by speedrunning these dungeons, they will be profitable and 100% safe from other players. So this is the easiest way to make money and level up your weapon at the same time, but it will require for you to spend the initial money for your best gear. So it's up to you if this is how you want to make money. But if sometimes you really want to turn off your brain and just grind for easy and fast silver, then this is definitely a good option to do. And then moving over to the last and final money making way, which is the faction transporting. So faction transporting, aka the trade missions, are activity available through the faction warfare that involves purchasing city hard fragment resource in your faction city and transporting that item to a smuggling post near another city. The trade routes lead deep into the enemy territory, meaning that the risks are high, but it will be super fun, and it is a simple and quick way to make some easy silver. To start your trading mission, you have to be in one of the big cities, and by pressing on the minimap, you have to find an icon that is called Faction Enlistment. Then when you find the place, click on the faction guy. Then if you haven't already, then click flag, which will enlist you in this city's faction, and give you this purple icon or any other different colors, depending on which city you are joining. Then from here we want to open our faction chat and find other faction players that are right now playing, and then we want to join them. Our mission is to level up our faction status and get to at least 9,000 points, which then we can use to buy Divine Heart resource 3 times, and then we can start the trade mission. We get these purple points by participating in the faction warfare, which is holding faction points, killing other faction players, and much more. So then with all this said, When we have done a bit of PvP and faction warfare, which is by the way in the yellow zones, so you can't lose anything. But when we have got to 9,000 points, we want to return to the faction guide and buy 3 of these resources. Then we click on the next tab and we select in which cities we want to complete the mission, and then we can start the mission by clicking on accept the mana contract. When you accept the contract, you will get direction on where you will need to go. So then your mission is to not get killed by other faction members and deliver the goods to the specific location, which will be shown, and after that is done, come back to the city and you will get your rewards. Here in this section tab, which is called faction goods, you can see all the items that you can get, and you can use them or sell them for easy silver in the marketplace. And then lastly, if this is not self-explanatory already, but to do these missions you will need to invest upfront some money by buying a tank gear and a decent mount, which is the spectral bear, grizzly bear or saddle winter bear. And then the tank gear could be a build with something like one-hand mace, sacred scepter, guardian armor, knight helmet and knight boots. This gear is meant in case if you get dismounted, then you still have a lot of defensives to survive and run away from the enemies, and that's about it. So with that said, I really do appreciate everyone for watching guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, feedback or other good Albion Online guides that you would like to see in the next video, then feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below. And while you're doing that, please click like, subscribe and enable that notification bell, so this way you could support the channel and you won't miss any more amazing content from me. With all this said, you have an amazing day and I'll catch you in my next video. So take it easy, peace.
Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, agradeciendo, esto ha sido el ideólogo. Me voy para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Y hasta el próximo año. Y ahora me estará llevando, cuando el trabajo es bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores, me iba diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores, y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Agradeciendo a Tosido y Orgo, agüita para mi casa, de parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. señores. Me voy diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo. Agüita para mi casa. De parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima. Chao. Bueno, señores. Me voy diciendo, esto ha sido el biólogo. Agüita para mi casa. De parte del vecino. Muchas gracias, señores. Nos vemos en la próxima.